Hey, what's up everybody? This is Justin with Sillage Scents. Today I've got a video about Middle Eastern fragrances. I recently did one on the House of Armaf. I did one on Latafa. You guys seem to have really liked those. So today I've got kind of a mix of Middle Eastern houses. I've got a number that I'll show to you, and then I'll mention some that I don't have that I'm interested in getting that you might be interested in. So this is going to be a good one if you like cheapies and really good clones. So let me know in the comments as we go, what would you add to the list? And please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate those of you who are following these and responding in the comments. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right, the first one that I'll mention, we're going to talk about the house of Ard Al Zafaran or Zaafaran. And there's a number of these that are really inexpensive and they're really good. The first one, this is Midnight Oud. And this is a clone of Amouage Interlude Man. And so Interlude Man is sometimes called the Blue Beast, and it's described as sort of an incense bomb. That's not all you have. You've got some herbal qualities in the opening of the fragrance. You've got something that is going to remind you of kind of a balsamic sweetness. You've got something that's called a Popanax, which is sort of a resin. It's really just a pretty mysterious fragrance because the incense as well as the herbal qualities. I think it's rosemary that you get in the opening. You're also going to get something balsamic that is interesting. It's sort of a love it or hate it kind of thing. I've really got to be in the mood for Midnight Oud, but if you like sort of mysterious, smoky fragrances, I think you're going to like this one. And this is $10 to $12 for the 50 ml, and you can get the bigger bottles, like I'll show you another one of them, for around $25. Amazon is actually a great place to find them. This next one from the same house, this is Oud 24 Hours, probably the most popular out of this line. And this one is actually a clone of Tom Ford's Black Orchid. And so this is a really interesting floral fragrance that is marketed to women, but probably just as many, if not more, men wear it than women. So I have sprayed this fragrance, the different concentrations, the EDT, the EDP, even the Parfum, on my skin numerous times through the years as I've gone through department stores. I've never owned the original, but I can tell you this one is very close as far as, you know, having sprayed it on my hand a couple days earlier and then come back and smell this one. It's very close to Black Orchid, and what you're going to get is a chocolatey floral fragrance with a good bit of sweetness, something that definitely works in winter and fall and early spring, probably just not in the summer. And this one could actually be dressed up like a formal fragrance, but it could be pulled off casually as well. All right, the next one from Ard Al Zafaran. This one is Oud 24 Hours Majestic Gold. This is one of the bigger bottles from this line you can get for about $25. This one is my favorite out of each of them that I have anyway. This is an amazing clone of Stronger With You leather. I love leather fragrances, and this one is sort of a gourmand, somewhat chocolatey, spicy, leathery fragrance. You're going to get something that's a little bit powdery vanilla. You're going to get some spices in the opening that actually last throughout the fragrance. You're going to get a little bit of a woodsy dry down with a note of something that's like soft leather or soft suede that lasts all the way through. You've got a little bit of the nutty quality as well from the Stronger With You line. I think that's a chestnut note. So this is a really cool fragrance for 25 bucks. I have worn this one like crazy. You can't see through the bottle, but I've probably burned through a quarter of this bottle in the past year. All right, switching houses, we'll jump to Afnan. This is a house that I only have one fragrance from, but this one is amazing. It's been a real hype beast. This is Afnan 9 p.m. This is a beast mode clone of Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. And so you've got like this incredible sort of pear, vanilla, slightly aromatic, very sweet fragrance that's going to last you easily 10 hours. And it's a really good clone of the Ultra Male fragrance, but it's got a little bit of a Middle Eastern flair with a little bit of spice, not much spice, but I think it actually accents that fruity sweetness that you get from the original Ultra Male. One that I don't yet have from Afnan that's on my list is, I think it's 9 a.m. Dive. It's in a blue bottle. It might be 9 p.m. Dive, but that one is actually a clone of Bleu de Chanel. And from the reviews that I've seen, it looks like it's a really good fragrance. All right, the next house that we will go with is Rasasi. There's two kind of big hype beast fragrances from Rasasi. One of them is this Rasasi Hawass, and this is going to get you super close to Invictus Aqua 2016. That's one that's really beloved in the fragrance community that was only out, I think, for 2 years before they discontinued it and updated it. This one is super close to Invictus Aqua 2016, except again, it's got a little bit of a Middle Eastern flair, a little bit of spiciness, but this is, you know, that bubblegum, sweet, aquatic vibe that you're going to get from the original, the Invictus Aqua fragrances. I was blanking for a second. The Paco Rabanne fragrance. It's actually not too super different from the original Invictus, but the aquatic nature is ramped up, and there's a little bit of a spicy flair. And this one actually came out before Invictus Aqua. Another one from Rasasi that is really quite well known is Rasasi La Yucawam, which is from what I understand, a really good beast mode clone of Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. It's supposed to be excellent. There are some guys who will get that, and you know, maybe they had a decant of the Tom Ford and they say there's no reason that I would get Tuscan Leather now. This one performs as good or better, and it's like, you know, 95% accurate. But I don't have that one yet. All right, next up, this is one that is a Mideastern house as far as I can tell. It's really hard to find info about this house online, but their main office seems to be based in United Arab Emirates, and that is the House of Fragrance World, and this is Starman Nebula. This is a clone of the Amen line, Thierry Mugler Pure Malt. And so there is a whole line of Amen fragrances. There's Pure Havane, and there's Ultra Zest, and the original Amen, and on and on. But this is one that, again, is a darling of the fragrance community, and the prices on the original are up to $200 or more. And from what I understand, although I never got to try Pure Malt, this one is a very accurate clone of Pure Malt, and I think I got this for about $30 including shipping. I think I got it from Triple Traders, but I've seen it on various websites. Starman Nebula, a very good clone of Mugler Pure Malt. They also make a clone of the original Amen, which I love the original Amen. I think it's actually still very relevant. As a matter of fact, I was at the mall yesterday sampling all kinds of niche fragrances, and I sprayed Killian's Intoxicated on me, and the whole ride home I was like, man, this reminds me so much of something. What is it? I got on Fragrantica and saw that like 450 people said it smells like the original Amen, and I thought, man, that's exactly what it is. So intoxicated, you know, it's maybe 75% like the original Amen, but that is, of course, still very relevant, as is the original Amen. So you can get the original Starmen, which is a clone of the original Amen, and you'll get it for like under $30. Okay, next up, we'll go with one that's got a ton of great fragrances. I only have 2 from this house, but I've got 3 or 4 on my list that I want to get. This is the house of Al Haramain. And one line that's got some bangers is the Amber Oud line. This is Amber Oud Ruby. And this is a beast mode clone of Baccarat Rouge 540 extrait. And so it's got the almond accord of the extrait. It's got that powerful, super projecting, amazing sillage, kind of cotton candy vibe of BR 540, but it's also got that sweet almond note. This is a powerful, powerful, very long-lasting fragrance. But this same line, Amber Oud, has Emerald, which I want to get. That one is a clone of Parfums de Marly Greenly, that kind of green apple fragrance. The blue, Amber Oud Blue Edition, is a clone of Parfums de Marly Leighton. So there's several others in this line that I want to get. I believe the Gold Edition is a clone of Xerjoff Herba Pura. So there's a bunch of really good fragrances in the Amber Oud line. Another one of their lines that's got some really good fragrances is this one right here. This is Al Haramain L'Aventure. This is the original. This is a clone of Aventus, and it is an awesome clone of Aventus. It leans more fruity than smoky. I actually prefer fruity Aventus as far as like a daily wear. But I've tried a bunch of clones of Aventus, and this one has been my favorite so far. From what I understand, the Intense is even better. It's very, very similar. It's just longer lasting. They've also got I think it's called L'Aventure Blanche, which is a Silver Mountain water clone. But this Al Haramain line that are in the bottles like this, they also have the sort of tall, skinny ones, but the bottles look the same. There's some really good fragrances in this line. Okay, next up, we'll go with a house that is not the first one that you think of when you think of a Middle Eastern clone house, but it is based in the Middle East. It's based in Dubai, I believe. And this is a clone house, but they're very expensive, but they are niche quality clones, not like, you know, niche quality in the way that we will say something, you know, like maybe a Bentley fragrance is niche quality. No, this is actually like niche grade oils that are super concentrated. This is the house of Parfums Vintage. If you can get a hold of the list of clones that Parfums Vintage does, they clone everything, and they clone a lot of discontinued fragrances, dozens of discontinued fragrances. And I have mostly only heard good feedback about Parfums Vintage. This one is Evolution del Homme Soir. It's a clone of Roja Parfums Elysium. And the difference between original Elysium and this one is that the vetiver note is really cranked up in Evolution del Homme Soir. You can get the Soir extrait, from what I understand, that doesn't have the vetiver ramped up. That's actually what I would recommend unless you just really love vetiver. I didn't realize that this one had super powered vetiver until I got it in, and they will not let you exchange anything. So be warned, if you buy it, you buy it. You bought it. You can't exchange it or anything like that. But it's still a great fragrance. It's very powerful, long-lasting, projecting. They do clones of everything, a lot of niche fragrances, a lot of discontinued fragrances. If you Google the listing of Parfums Vintage fragrances, you can see the list, but you're talking like, you know, $80 to $100 for a 50 mil, and you're talking like $130 to $160 for 100 mil. So these are expensive fragrances, but they are legitimately niche quality, and you can get, you know, very, very accurate niche clones for half the price of original niche fragrances. You can also get better quality discontinued designers, that are better quality than the original, that are also very accurate. So however many that's been, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mideastern houses. These are just some that I have. I've got a bunch of other clones that I could have included in here. Some of them, it's just, I don't know whether they're Mideastern. I have my suspicions, but each of these are going to be something special, either because the quality of what you get for the price, the performance, etc. There's clones in these houses that are just incredible. And most of these, if you just dig into the house a little bit, you're going to find a lot more than I mentioned today. So let me know in the comments, what would you add to this list of Middle Eastern fragrance houses and some of their best fragrances? And please subscribe to my channel. We're just a little bit away from 1,000. And beginning this week, I'm going to start doing some giveaways so that we can just speed right on past that 1,000 mark and on into the sunset. So thanks so much for watching. This has been Justin with Sillage Scents. I'll see you on the next video.